when we talk about the reaction to the regicide, we also want to talk about Lady Macbeth. And we want to talk about how Macbeth and Lady Macbeth's relationship does change. And this is kind of the last time where Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are open with each other. The regicide is the last time we see that happen, because Macbeth loses a lot of things as a result of his sin and immorality, and his relationship and his marriage is one of those things. Now, a marriage is decided and communed by God. A marriage is a union under God. And because of that, because Macbeth and Lady Macbeth have committed such a transgression against God, one of the kind of punishments of that is the kind of fragmenting and fracturing of both of them as people, but also their marriage to each other. Now, Macbeth's reaction is, "Will all great Neptune's Ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? He has the daggers still in his hand, filled with blood, and his hands have literal blood on them." And Lady Macbeth says, "Consider it not so deeply." And she says, "A little water clears us of this deed." So where Macbeth kind of is appalled, fearful, and ashamed of his sin, Lady Macbeth trivializes it. She sees it as small, as little, and insignificant. And we have this image of water from both characters. Now again, we have a bit of religious symbolism here, because water is used literally to clean us, isn't it? If we get dirty, water is used to clean our bodies, our clothes, etc. In the Bible, Jesus was taken into kind of the water by John the Baptist, and John the Baptist washed over kind of Jesus's kind of head, kind of dunked him in the water, and this water was blessed and holy, and what that did is it cleansed him of sin. Now, because Adam and Eve betrayed God and were sent to earth, all of mankind kind of carried that sin. So a baptism cleanses us of sin. It kind of clears the slate again, and we're able to live moral lives and able to ascend to heaven as long as we lead moral and honest lives and atone for our sins. Now, Macbeth, interestingly, he does realise that it would take an ocean to wash this sin away. An ocean. And he does say, "my hand." So number one, he knows that this is a huge sin that would require an ocean. And two, he accepts responsibility. He knows that it is his hand that did the act. Well, interestingly, he says Neptune. Now, we know that Macbeth is a Christian. We know that he talks about God. We've heard it. So when he says, "Well, all great Neptune's Ocean," Neptune is the Roman god, and he's kind of like a pagan god, which is not a Christian. It's based on mythology. Okay. So he's asking a Roman god to cleanse him of this unchristian act. Because he did an unchristian act, he cannot be baptized. It cannot be baptized away. It cannot be cleansed. He knows that. He kind of knows that from this point on, he is irreparably damned. And because it was an unchristian act, he knows he's no longer connected to God, which is probably why he refers to Neptune. Whereas Lady Macbeth seems to just trivialize and ignore the whole situation anyway. She doesn't seem to think that the situation is irreparable, and she doesn't think that damnation is inevitable. She believes it can be cleared away. She is not stained by sin. It is not a stain. She believes it can be cleared. Interestingly, she doesn't talk about responsibility. She still says this deed. She still trivializes the regicide. And this scene is very important kind of on its own, but really, when we come to the end of the play, this is where this comes into play a little bit more, because it's how these characters change from this point on that is far more interesting to talk about. So we really want to understand this so that we can talk about it better with comparisons to later on.